Alright, we're about to get in this hopper. We have to install this light kit. Hope everyone's having a good day. Most people probably won't watch this on replay, so I'm not gonna do an intro like I never do. We use this as our template to mark our holes. I need my Sharpie. Just right here. Let's climb in this old girl and do our deal. No! Get in here. Oh, yeah. Alright, we are inside the unit. Let's get our template. I'm going to set y'all down over here. Alright, form holes. Now, I'm going to go grab my drill bit. The impact. I'm out of here. I think the manager is going to get me some lunch. Since I bought them all donuts this morning, I spent like $36 on donuts. It's because we were running a day behind on our schedule, and they had held the truck for us yesterday. So it really should have been on the road picking up trash, but they didn't coordinate that with me. I didn't know they were holding it, so I didn't call them and tell them I was running a day behind. Kind of turned into a big fiasco, and I smoothed it over. Hey! Woo! Thank you. No worries. Nah, I ain't worried about that. Man, I appreciate that.
No worries.
Don't do me like that.
I think we're making pretty good progress. I think we can get 3 done today.
Yeah, it's I don't know what time it is. It'll probably run pretty late, but yeah, I mean, as far as, are you gonna hang out with me the whole time, or do you want me to lock it? Because if you'll dummy lock this, or just shut it.
No, I mean, you got full access to everything. Just before you leave, give me a call. I live 5 minutes away.
All right, you're just
so I'll swing back by again and make sure everything's locked up good.
That'll work perfect, man. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Sweet. Alright, lunch break. What you doing? I am installing a camera and light bar bracket inside of this waste management truck, as well as I just finished installing this inclinometer sensor and running a cable, multiple cables, but they have to weld this, there's a plate that goes right here, so they have to weld that, and my sensor is going to mount to that, and that's a tilt sensor that triggers these multiple cameras in here to record video of every trash pickup. This would also be recording angled toward the actual trash can where they're picking up at. So it's like this view, those views, and then I just installed this property view. So this is looking at the actual house that they're picking up on. Basically for billing, if somebody says they didn't pick up their trash can, they've got video evidence of the house, the trash pickup, it loaded in there. It's also if they, put a contamination. That's what they call that second camera, is a contamination cam. Is basically if they put like batteries or open barrels of paint, stuff like that in the trash can, they can kind of keep an eye on it. Because like lithium batteries can start fires in the hopper and la-di-da-di-da. Anyways, let me eat real quick. Bought me lunch. They don't buy me lunch very often. Thank you for commenting. Most people just watch and they never comment for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of times I'm not watching the phone or talking because I'm working, obviously. I'm trying to get work done, but I kind of do this just to more influence people, like going to work and having a real job. There's nothing embarrassing about it. You can make it fun, make it what it is. Or it is what it is, but you can make it, enjoyable to some extent. You're doing what you love to do. Which for me, I love installing. I love adapting technology into things. Not just vehicles, homes, businesses. Worked on cell phone towers. I've climbed cell phone towers. Certified tower climber. Got my little card back at home. Done a lot of different stuff, but it's all been mostly electronics. Also went to school for electrical engineering technology. Almost 2 years, been associates, and then ITT, the school I was going to, closed down. I had one semester left, so they wiped all my student loans and expunged $46,000 or $48,000 worth of debt that would have been for those 2 years, that degree, because they didn't stay open long enough for me to finish. They got shut down for predatory student lending. They were giving out loans at extremely high interest rate to anybody and everybody, even knowing that those people wouldn't be able to pay the loan off, lower income households and stuff. Let me get back to work though. So, we're gonna grab this bit. This is my new one. Yep, that bit. I guess for now we can just go drill the holes. Then I'll come back down and assemble the bracket with the light bar and the camera. Let's hop in here real quick. We'll get our 4 holes drilled. The way this hopper's laid out, you can't use all 6 bolts. I'll show you why in a minute. Let's put this down over here. Flip the camera view. So I use this as my template. This is the back of the bracket that would typically be sandwiched, which this one's not. I'm going to open this panel and I'm going to put the nuts on from this access point. I've already traced my holes. Now we're just going to drill them. Make them bigger. Alright. I'm gonna go grab my impact so I can get this plate off. Give me 1 second. I gotta get 3 of these done and try to get all 3 of them done today. It's a lot of work. To definitely get 2, I'm gonna try to get 30. If I do get 3 done today, I think that'll be, hold on, it's 275 times 3. 6. 825 plus 500, $1,300 a day, maybe. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, we're gonna try to do 3 today, I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do 3 today. That was my finger that I pinched. Ow. Supposed to hurt. Look at my wrist. Alright, I gotta get it. Even to me. Hope everyone's having a relaxing and enjoyable weekend. I'm not even mad that I'm working right now. It's great. Relaxing would be nice, but I had last weekend to do that. So. This weekend's work weekend. If I get 3 done today, that'd be like a record. I think the most anybody's done is 2. Most I've done is 4. Sure. I mean, I guess since I started at exactly 8 a.m., it's going to give me definitely a good head start for it. Almost lunch. This is all I got left to do on this truck. And what was I going to say? I don't know. Oh yeah, so that puts me at like a little bit after lunch, like 5 hours per install, and that's moving fast. So 1 o'clock, 5 hours will put me at like 6 p.m. I'd be done with the second one, and if I keep working through the third, it'll be done at like 11, 12 p.m. Probably later because I'll have to take breaks. But that's doable. 15-hour day, 16, 17-hour days will be a lot. But then I'll have tomorrow off. Oh. Let's see. Need to drill another hole for the wire. I need to blow my nose. What the fuck? It came out of my drill, it hurt. Drill's about to die. if the light connector will fit through that hole. I'm going to have to grab my bigger lead a bit. Yeah, thought so. Here's that. Wires through our hole. Actually, we'll do that after we get a couple of the bolts through. I don't think I brought the bolts with me. Alright, let's rack it up. drop my nuts. Almost dead. That's good enough. Just enough. Are we missing one nut? One nut fell out. Do I have any more? is.
Any music, that's the problem. Too quiet. I'm not.
Where you at? No, I don't think so. No. Yeah, Zachary, the one you called me from? Yeah. I'll call you. I'll give you a heads up too, just when I'm getting wrapped up with it, so you don't have to hurry around too much. So. It's, I mean, if depending on how fast I get that second one done, if I'm getting where it's like I'm really exhausted, could Sunday work for that third one? Maybe that's when you call me when you're free tomorrow. You could just run up here, unlock, get me set up, and then you could be off, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll just lock, go in, lock. Okay, but I'm gonna try to squeeze all three of them today. Either way, I'm gonna be out here for this evening. So appreciate you, man. Thank you for lunch. I'll put the other inclinometers on the table or right there on that file cabinet thing. Okay. Got the place myself now. I'm a big boy. Alright, we gotta take this panel off right at the top. About the right size. That's the right size. I'll take all this stuff out so I don't forget anything in the truck.
Pistolero, pistolero, where do you run? Pistolero, pistolero, right along tonight. One of brothers fight one day, out to try to make his way. Join the cattle drive to Mexico. With some bandidos, there he learned the lingo. Killed the man they called him Pistolero. 5,000 pesos they put on your head. 5,000 pesos to get you alive or dead. Right on that hot young vaquero. Daba por mucho dinero, que no veo por nada. Pistolero, pistolero, where do you go?
None of your business, lady.
Pistolero, pistolero, on your way home. Every night a candle burns, waiting there for your return. The candle is out, pistolero. I see the cabin down below. Pistolero, let me go. Tonight you're mine, pistolero. 5,000 pesos they put on your head. 5,000 pesos to get you alive. Oh, yeah. Pistolero, look around you. Your sun has set in the sky. Oh, pistolero, I found you. It's Maria, turn it on. Go on, pistolero, pistolero, lay your head down. Pistolero, pistolero, 6 feet
I'm getting hyper. 50 minutes already? God dang. Time flies when you're listening to Pistoletto. Am I right? Can we do 3 today? I mean, it might be doable. I don't know, guys. 3 installs is asking a lot. We might be able to get it done. I want to make 1,400 pounds. Oh, Jesus, 4. DRP. crawl under the truck. There's not going to be really any good angles for y'all to see when those wires down the frame rail. So, man, today, y'all have a good week and happy Easter. Peace out. Later.